Lessons on patience. Today I want to share with you a lesson on patience. Now think about the times when you made the hasty decision and then felt regretful and sad. After that happens, most of us will wish to turn back time so that we can slow down a few seconds before acting, to observe more carefully, to understand the situation clearly, to ask ourselves, what if we are wrong? What consequences will our actions have on ourselves and those around us? A typical example in our society nowadays, we do everything so fast, eat fast, drink fast, walk fast, live fast, etc., that our negative emotions are piled up and never resolved. In fact, they are just ignored, not gone, and always exist in our subconscious. They are invisible things that belong to the spirit, but we forget that they also have weight. And once the weight is big enough, they will break our spirit suddenly and easily. Once the spirit collapses, the person will only be an empty shell that can move. It no longer knows why it exists. It no longer feels happy. It has to seek the feeling that it is still alive from things that bring strong feelings but are extremely wrong and negative. What seems like bad luck can actually be a blessing. It is a reminder that we have been doing something wrong without even realizing it, that we must stop, look at all our actions, learn the lessons that were missed, correct the things that can be corrected, and not repeat the same mistakes in the future. When we do so, not only do we give ourselves a chance to be reborn again, to be recreated and become a new, better version, but we also make everything around us better. However, if we continue to be indifferent, the collapse of the spirit will be followed by the collapse of the body, which will eventually lead to the total collapse of all aspects of ourselves or related to us. This is the obvious answer to letting indifference become a habit, letting automaticity take over instead of mindfulness, letting oneself digest everything without knowing how to choose between good and bad, and acting regardless or without thinking about the consequences. I recently had a similar experience and I regretted it. I am a vegetarian and value the lives of all living things, except for pests. That afternoon, I saw a small black creature moving quickly across the floor, and within a few seconds, without really knowing, I concluded that it was a cockroach and stomped on it. But when I lifted my foot and looked more closely, I was shocked to see that it was a baby cricket. By the time I realized my mistake and regretted it, it was too late. The problem was my eyesight and my hasty jumping to conclusions and taking action. There is no excuse for my impatience, carelessness, and haste. It cost an innocent animal its life, and it left me with a guilty conscience. I can only take it as an experience to never repeat my mistake again. It was a wake-up call for me that any of us can make mistakes. But what is more important is how we deal with those mistakes. We will learn from our regrets and use them as a lever to change and improve ourselves. Or will we hide everything, pretend that nothing happened, that we did nothing wrong, and convince ourselves that what happened was trivial and unimportant? That is my sharing today about patience. Hope it will bring value and help both you and me become better. Thank you for listening to my sharing, and I hope you will find yourself on the path of life that you have chosen. May the best things come to you: love, friendship, awareness, health, and the development of your mind, heart, and soul.